Hi, this is Christina Suzanne Nelson. This is where I live, and this is take number 4792 of me reading the first scene of my new book, More Than We Remember, from Bethany House Publishers. I'm going to get right to this because anytime I talk too long, something happens and we have to start over again. The perp was a mama raccoon. Deputy Emilia Cruz turned her Sheriff's Department SUV onto the highway connecting their county to the rest of the world. Her foot pressed the gas pedal a little harder than usual. 30 minutes of road twisted between her and West Crow, where she might actually do some good. Again, she'd been relegated to pest patrol. That was the problem with city people deciding to throw off their urban ways for the quiet life of the country. They tended to call in the police, taking time away from actual crimes to investigate any number of sounds or concerns that turned out to be wildlife. Emilia opened her window. Cool summer night air drifted over her arm, and woodsy scents floated in as the highway curved around the side of a towering hill. For a moment, she permitted her worries to blow away on the wind. The last bit of turn gave way to a straight stretch, and in that fraction of a second, tranquility shattered as crumpled metal burst into view. Emilia slammed her foot on the brake, coming to a stop behind a blue Maxima. Dust still hung in the air as if she had only just missed the moment of impact. She grabbed her radio. "This is Deputy Cruz." Emilia thrust the door open. "I've got you, Emilia. What do you have?" "Looks like a 2, maybe 3 car collision on the Darlington-West Crow Highway 6 miles from the northern county line. I'll get help as soon as possible." Emilia flipped on her flashing lights, then stepped out of her vehicle. She shook off the immediate shiver of dread crawling up her back, replacing it with her most professional demeanor. She approached the Maxima. The dome light shone, but the door was closed. Emilia knocked on the driver's side window. 2 girls, both appearing to be teens, startled. "You two all right?" Their heads bobbed, with tiny nods. "Could you step out of the car, please?" The driver's door squeaked open, and a girl with long, straight brown hair, approximately 5'5" and slim, stepped out, eyes rounded. Her mouth hung open, but she didn't say anything. Emilia ran the flashlight up and down her. "Were you injured?" The other girl, a much taller blonde, came around the front of the car. "No, ma'am. We witnessed the accident, but we weren't part of it." "Don't leave the site. I'll need your names and information." Emilia didn't wait for them to respond, doubting the first girl would even be able to speak in her shocked state. A red Jetta lay on its roof, steam billowing from the engine crushed into the remains of the car's body. The back tires still spinning, while the front seemed to have disappeared into the accordion of metal. Emilia bent down and shone her flashlight through the broken glass on the driver's side. Scarlet blood pooled along the pavement. The stench almost more than her stomach could bear. Popping open one of the compartments on her belt, Emilia yanked out a pair of latex gloves and snapped it on her hands. She tugged loose glass until the victim was clearly visible. The assessment was immediate. This woman had not survived. Emilia pressed the button on her radio as she rose to check the other car. "Claire, it's Emilia again. We have a 1216A. See if you can get the major traffic collision team from Benton County over here." "Copy that. Ambulance is 8 minutes out. We have fire and rescue en route from Darlington and West Crow." Glass and plastic fragments crunched under Emilia's boots as she jogged across the highway to the green pickup pressed into the side of the hill. Her stomach wobbled. The image of the woman from the first car was tattooed on her brain for life. Hardened against scenes like this? Never. Emilia looked down the road, willing help to arrive before she reached what remained of the passenger door. But the accident was nearly the center point between Darlington and West Crow. 8 minutes would tick by slowly. The deflated airbag blocked the remnants of the passenger window. Emilia swiped her light beam under the vehicle and found no trace of gas. Then she clambered into the pickup's bed, retrieved her baton, and punched a hole in the back window. Once the glass was cleared and away, she pushed close, the light illuminating a man with a long laceration to the scalp. Blood flowed over his right eye and down his jawline. It didn't look good for him either. A moan cracked through the silence. "Sir, this is Deputy Cruz. Can you hear me?" She reached her arm into the opening she had made earlier and touched his shoulder, careful not to move him. Another moan, but no words. Emilia spoke into her shoulder mic. Claire, advised responders we have one alive. Looks to be a man in his mid-30s to early 40s, severe laceration to the head. Got it. Emilia cleared a larger hole, then pressed her arm and face into the cab. It smelled of perspiration and chemicals from exploding airbags. Sir, we have help on the way. The man's body lurched and he retched onto his lap, his head collapsing on the steering wheel. A familiar stench filled the air. Emilia jerked back. This man was no victim. He was a drunk. All right, guys, that was the whole first scene and more than we remember. So if you want to read more, here's the book. And I'm going to be posting some other videos from other authors on my page so you can hear them reading their first chapters also. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.